our future needs to be sustainable, and it needs to be just, but it also needs to be beautiful and creative. I wanted to take a moment to kind of explain what Common Bound was, because I realized I never did that. Common Bound is a conference put on by the New Economy Coalition, and a coalition is, it's basically like a team. So it's like a bunch of individual nonprofits doing amazing work coming together for a shared mission. And in order to be part of the New Economy Coalition, you have to agree to their mission. And so if your work and your values fall in line, then you do that together. And you're invited to go to this annual conference, and this year it was in Buffalo, New York. So the New Economy is basically acknowledging this idea that like our current economic system is made to, and does a really good job of, like dividing people and exploiting people and extracting from the planet, and it's just not very sustainable, and there literally has to be a better way, and there is. And I know that a lot of times growing up we're taught that there isn't. We don't have to do capitalism the way that it is. The new economy is complex, it's different, but it's super fun and exciting, and there's so many ways that it can happen, and the organizations that work for the New Economy Coalition are really exploring how do we do that. But even more so, they're looking at, like, there are some things that, like, have to happen. Like, climate change is making sure that, like, we cannot continue doing the things that we're doing. Like, the planet will stop us, and we will not be living anymore. There are people that are being exploited, and they're saying, like, enough is enough. Like, people can only be pushed so far, and, like, the income inequality that's happening around the entire world, like 62 people own as much as half of the world's population. That's insane. And like these things are all products of our current system that really values money, and just straight up money. And the only way that we can value the earth or our communities or happiness and well-being is if we can put a monetary value on those things. The thing that excites me most about the work that we're doing is that it's not about just making the new economy happen. It's about talking about the just transition, which is what we call a transition that is just. There's justice in this transition to make sure that if we're shutting down a coal plant, we're not just kicking all those people out of their jobs. We're demanding that the companies who do that work, who know that their business is not sustainable, support us in getting those people jobs at like a renewable energy center. Or we're saying like, hey, communities, can we come together to make our own energy and then give those people those jobs, whatever jobs there are that make that thing run, because we want to make sure that like we value everyone in our community and we don't want to screw them over. We would say, okay, how do we get a timeline that's quick enough to make sure that like our planet is still livable, and that we're actually putting in the work to take this seriously, but also not doing it so fast that we're just shutting down a plant and kicking people out of their jobs and like harming communities. Like if the mills shut down here, my entire town and all of the towns around here would just, I think, cease to exist. Like, I literally think that's what would happen. And we've seen that happen over and over again. So many people, so many different types of people come and do this work because everybody has a stake in it. Like, if you're watching this, you have a stake in it because you're affected by the economy, you use the economy, and you're part of the economy. Common Bound was really amazing. There was a lot of music. There was an artist collective because there's this huge thing of, like, our future needs to be sustainable, and it needs to be just, but it also needs to be beautiful and creative, because that's really what keeps us going. And I think that's what the future is all about. It's not about how do we put a monetary value on the time that we spend singing and dancing. It's about how do we put in enough work to meet our basic needs and live well without extracting the planet and exploiting people, and then have free time to have fun and enjoy our lives and sing and dance. I encourage everyone to go, once again, check out my Instagram. I put about 6 photos up from my journey, and particularly one from Niagara Falls where I talk about the commercialization a little bit deeper. I hope that you're having a great time, having a great life. I'm gonna go rest and drink lots of liquids. Bye!